Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 books that are on my TBR this spooky season. So as always, grab your beverage of choice and let's get into it. I'm drinking a Khalifa Farms cold brew mocha. It's basically just like a chocolate milkshake with a bit of coffee in it. It's so good. I feel like as I've gone to film this video, it's got really nice and sunny outside and it does not feel like it's entering spooky season at all. But you know what? I feel like everyone's just ready for autumn. I feel like we're kind of over summer. But anyway, we're just going to embrace the autumn vibes today, and I'm going to tell you about the 3 books that I'm planning to read this spooky season. Now, I may well read more spooky books. I don't like to have masses on my TBR. If I make like a specific TBR for a specific season or genre or something like that, I don't like to add loads and loads of books because I just find that a bit overwhelming, and then it just isn't helpful. So I like to keep my TBRs short and sweet, and then that makes me feel like I can actually achieve that goal of reading those books. So let's just get into it. Without further ado, the first book on my spooky season TBR is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Now I've actually already started reading this book. I am on chapter 13. So this is a gothic romantasy, and it is the second in the Shepherd King duology. So the first book was One Dark Window, which I read a couple of months ago, and I really enjoyed. It was a bit of a different vibe for me. I typically am not into romantasy at all, but my best friend recommended One Dark Window. She actually book faired me a copy of it, so I felt like I had to read it, and I did really enjoy it. So picked up this, I actually got this for my birthday, the second one, and I started reading it, and yeah, I'm already really enjoying it. It's really like captivating. You just want to know what's going on, and can tell there's going to be some spice in this, and I'm not mad at that. So yeah, there's a lot of magic in these books. Obviously, as I said, it's like a gothic fantasy setting, and there's like romance sprinkled in as well. The very brief synopsis is our main character, Elspeth Spindle. I find it so hard to say her name. Elspeth Spindle has been infected with magic, and in the town of Blunder, they don't take kindly to this because if you're infected with this magic, it can give you these abilities, but it's seen as like a bit of a curse and you're outcast for it, and actually a lot of children are put to death if they're infected with this magic. But Elspeth has been, but her family have hidden her, and there's now a plot to overthrow the current king of Blunder and end his tyrannical reign. So Elspeth kind of teams up with some of these undercover people that like are close to the king, and she kind of teams up with them in order to try and help overthrow this king. So that's like a super brief synopsis. With any fantasy book, I could sit here for 20 minutes trying to explain it in the briefest way possible and it would still be confusing. So if you're interested in like gothic, fantasy, romance, magic, you just got to read these books, because I'm really enjoying the second one. I think it's already proven to be better than the first, to be honest. So there we go. Up next on my spooky season TBR is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. So this will be my, I think, 6th Stephen King book, and I have heard by so many people, including one of my closest friends who is a massive Stephen King fan, that this is Stephen King's best work. That's high praise. And I feel like it's got a lot to live up to, because I've read I've read a few Stephen King books that I've really enjoyed. I loved The Green Mile, I loved The Shining, I loved Carrie. So I feel like if this is even better than those, then I'm gonna be hooked. I'm gonna be really into this. So it is a supernatural horror. Obviously, that's where King's most at home. Basically, brief synopsis: it's set in a small town in Maine. Small town America, again, what King seems to do best, and this family unfortunately lose their pet cat. They're very upset about it, and they are told by one of the locals, I believe, to bury their cat in this mysterious pet cemetery, and this pet cemetery seems to have powers in that it is able to regenerate animals and bring them back to life. But is that necessarily for the best? Probably not. So yeah, that's the briefest synopsis I can give. I actually have seen a film adaptation of Pet Sematary. I think it was the newest adaptation. I've not seen the original, and I did quite like it. So I'm really, really interested to read this book. Really, really excited to read another Stephen King book because I just think I'm going to be a lifelong Stephen King fan at this point. So there we go. And the third book that I'm planning to read this spooky season, I don't have a physical copy, I'll have to get myself one, but it is The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook. Now, I read my first C.J. Cook book this year. It's funny when I say C.J. Cook book because it sounds like I'm saying cookbook. It's not recipes, it was a novel. And that was called The Ghostwoods. And I absolutely adored that book. So I'm really excited to read more from this author. So all I know is like the tagline for this book, and that is that there are these two sisters that go missing in this remote Scottish island, I think it is. One of the sisters actually reappears 20 years after they've gone missing, but she looks the exact same age as she was when she disappeared. So no idea what's going on there. Is there some time travel involved? Some supernatural stuff? Who knows? It is said to be like a gothic thriller. Yeah, it's set in this like small island off the coast of Scotland. So I just think it's got all the markings of a great spooky season book. It is a bit witchy. It's got a bit of witch lit in there, and I've not read any witchy books in a while, so I feel like I have to remedy that. So yeah, there we have it. Those are my 3 books I am planning to read this spooky season. Please let me know if you have read any of them, what you think, or if you're interested in reading them now after hearing me talk about them. I always forget to say this, but if you like my videos, please, please, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!